Hello, I'm TheZOMBIEJ. It's time for a rant. Haven't done one of these in a while, where it's just strictly a rant video, not a rant review. If you want one of those, check out my review on The Journey to One. It's not getting any views for some reason. Probably because everybody's forgotten about The Journey to One by now. So, the potential of Bionicle G3 as a board game. Yeah, there are people in the Bionicle community that are actually saying that Bionicle G3 needs to be a board game. I call bullshit. We've already had board games in Bionicle G1. Nothing for G2, at least. Which is fine. G2 didn't need a board game. Because they weren't going to put money into the budget to do that. G1 had a number of board games. They had card games as well. We've had the Mask of Light tie-in. We've had a board game from 2006. We've also had, well, a Quest for Makuta, I think it was what it was called. There could be more board games than that, I don't know. But G3 as a board game, I don't believe this. I really don't. If Bionicle has to be a board game in order for it to be on store shelves, that is clearly the wrong direction to go in. As if people are just begging for something this ridiculous to be on store shelves. At this point, it's... No. I do not believe that Bionicle G3 should be a board game. I think they should take the SCCBS system they use for the GWP and use that for the Toa, the Matoran, the Taraga, if they can, the Rahi, and anything else they could think of to represent 2001. Think of it as like a legacy or a nostalgia line, if anything. But a true nostalgia line would actually be recreating the old molds and going back to those old molds and reissuing copies of the original sets. They're not going to do that, so fuck it. Bionicle as a board game in G3 just doesn't sit well with me. I already talked about Bionicle as little tiny collectible minifigs, and I said fuck no to that. Well, I also say fuck no to the board game idea, because we've already had like 3 or 4 of those in G1 alone. And I'm sure there are folks out there who are, who have made their own Bionicle board game, if not a tabletop RPG sort of thing. This is wrong, clearly. I didn't really care for the board games anyway, from G1. I never played them. I actually have one of the small board games. It comes in like a box about that size. And I can't remember what it was, but it had the Kanohi Nuva masks, so he plays the Toa Nuva. Why should Bionicle G3 be a fucking board game? So they could sell that in the game section of the stores? Why? The point of having Bionicle toys to build and play around with is to be in the Lego section, not a board game section, you dumbasses. What the flying fuck is wrong with you? Seriously, this is an absolute nightmare waiting to happen. The idea of Bionicle G3, if it ever happens, existing as a board game for all of us to buy and play, I'm not buying it. I don't want that. I don't believe in Bionicle as a board game for a G3, because at this point, I don't believe that G3 is even going to be a thing. Seriously. We've had no information on a potential G3. All we've got was the gift with purchase and that shitty little micro build from the 90 Years of Playset. That's all we're ever going to get. Face it. I don't believe in board games as the way to bring back Bionicle. It just doesn't, it's just not going to work. You may think it'll work. You're wrong. Bionicle has always and forever will be centered around buildable action figures. Yes, we've had system sets before, but those were play sets. Those were extensions of the Bionicle, experience. But the main Bionicle experience will always and forever will be the buildable action figures. If you don't believe that, you're a moron. Seriously. This is bullshit. A board game, huh? A board game. Does that really sit well with you? It doesn't sit well with me. Because the little minifigs, the Toa as minifigs, that doesn't sit well with me. I already explained that in a rant. A board game? Think the fuck again. SCCBS has to be the future of Bionicle. If LEGO wants to bring it back in some way, shape, or form. Because the idea is to build, not play a board game. If I wanted to play a board game, I would play, I don't know, fucking Candyland. Or something stupid like that. To be honest, I'd actually play the Bionicle board game that I have that I never played. Why do I have it? Collector's item, I guess. So, yeah. I'm pretty salty about the idea of Bionicle G3 being a board game, because that just doesn't... That doesn't make sense. Why would it? Yeah, it would cater towards, kids who like to play board games. What kid plays board games nowadays? They play app games on their fucking iPhones. Seriously. If the G2 app games weren't good enough for kids to play back in 2015 and 2016, what makes you think a Bionicle physical board game, or even a tabletop RPG digital board game thing, what makes you think that will work? It won't. Seriously. You're full of shit. Even if Bionicle G3 comes out next year, and it's a brick system, it will most likely be revolved around SCCBS, because that is probably the only way it's ever going to work with exclusive mask prints, like they did with Tahoe and Takua. It worked. It worked very well. I can see them selling Tahoe and Takua as separate sets. Takua maybe a polybag or something, I don't know. And the other 5 Toa and their respective Matoran. There's a million and one possibilities that could happen with G3. But a board game? It's not one of them. Never will be. If you think a board game is the way to go for a G3, You're a lunatic. You're fucking insane. Seriously. A board game for G3. We've already had board games in G1. And they weren't even that good. The card games weren't even that good either. But it was part of the draw to Bionicle G1. Board games, card games, video games, online games, games aplenty. If G3 has to be a board game, and if it ends up being a board game, I won't buy it. I won't. I will boycott it for Christ's sake. This is just absolutely fucking insane. You can't put out a Bionicle G3 board game in 2025, 26, whatever, and expect to be taken seriously. You're just completely wrong. Fuck you. I'm going back to the G1 and G2 sets that I still have. Because that is pure Bionicle. Not stupid board game crap. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks there. Have a good fucking day, and peace. Stay tuned for more Rant videos as they come.